This is the Shrimp Trawler Video Channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, of 1981-84 Fall League Game of the Week. And today we've got a series between the Braves and the Mets in your Game of the Week, National League East. Let's just take you into what's happened in this best of five series, opening up in Hotlanta. Dwight Gooden having a torrid year, historic year, against Phil Niekro. Long and short of this, Mets win 5-1 on the road. Let's just put the line in there for you. Gooden, 7 2/3 innings, 7 hits, which is a lot for him, a run, 1 walk, 15 strikeouts for Doc. And Niekro also went 7 1/3, 7 hits and 5 runs, 6 walks. Really was a big third inning for the Mets. Walk, single, a Joel Youngblood double, Strawberry, sac fly, RBI single, Rusty Stahl. We got a homer by Joel Youngblood in this. It's the 1981 Joel Youngblood, led the National League in hitting. 5-1. Just to show you the type of year Gooden is having, in the 8th inning, Gene Roof, with the 7 1/3 shutout innings, Gene Roof rolls triple-double off the Gooden card and gets double. Then Jerry Royster rolls the hit chance against righties on the Gooden card. It's double 1 to 18, fly ball the rest. Can't get it. Flies out. Ultimately, Enos Cabell gets a single off his card to get that run. But it's just kind of show you how difficult it is to score on Dwight Gooden this particular year. Mets win 5-1 on the road. Okay, game number 2. Game 2, Mets start Frank Tanana, a guy they got in free agency, versus Charlie Huff. If you're wondering, we said it before about the Fall League. There's a lot more free agency. There's a lot more player movement. There's a lot more experimenting. There's a lot more freewheeling of the game versus its Summer League counterpart, which attempts to piece together a connection to Major League Baseball history. We're just trying to have a wild time here in the Fall League, and it's not as many games to be played anyway, so it's not going to be a high it's going to be a wilder statistical variation because of a smaller number of games played and so forth. Charlie Huff's on Atlanta because we thought it'd be cool to get Charlie Huff and Phil Niekro, the two knuckleballers, on the same team as the 1 and 2 starters for the Braves. And this one, it is the Braves who get an early start, a Bob Watson homer. But the Mets get RBI singles by Ray Knight and Darryl Strawberry, make it 2-1. Jerry Royster, the Braves, ties it at 2. Then in the 7th inning, we have pitching changes. Gene Garber comes out of Atlanta's bullpen but gets up a homer to Gene Richards on his own car. You remember Gene Richards for the Padres. Good little hitter, base stealer, not very good defensively. He's a DH now. And then after that, Tanana's pulled after 6. They go to Jeff Reardon to pitch 2 innings and let Jesse Orosco close it out. And all the Braves can muster is a hit in losing this game 4-2. Tanana, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, a walk, and 2 Ks. Orosco gives up a hit, getting a save in the 9th. Charlie Huff, 6 innings, 5 hits, only 2 walks. Garber and Rick Camp. Garber takes the loss by giving up the home run to Gene Richards. So your Mets have won 2 straight, looking to return home to New York and get a 3-game sweep. Let's look at some standings and some stats before we start this thing. American League East, National League East, pardon me. The Mets are in first. Braves fall to 2 games back now. Again, there's no wild card this year. So the Mets are looking good. If they can, continue on here in the Fall League to win the National League East. But we must look at stats for Dwight Gooden. it's actually somewhat disappointing that he has lost the game. He is 5-1. I don't remember the loss because I've been playing fall league games throughout the year to get a head start on myself so that I can play at a slower pace during autumn and winter. So Gooden did lose a game. I don't remember it. But anyway, Dwight Gooden has pitched 51 innings in the fall league. He's given up 35 hits. He's given up 6 runs. He's walked 12, struck out 77 in 4 complete games. This is one of the historic pitching runs I've seen in all my years playing Strat. It's so difficult to get down to, what is he doing here? His ERA is 6 times 9. His ERA is 106. 106 is Gooden's ERA. And it is almost impossible to get these ridiculous numbers in Strat because, it's a 50-50 proposition. You're going to roll on the hitter's cards. And the hitters are handpicked over a period of 4 years, so you're going to get some decent offenses, much better than the offenses Gooden would have actually faced in 1984. But nevertheless, he has been carrying this club. They're hitting 259 with a 3.43 ERA, but Doc Gooden is making the case for Cy Young / MVP of the National League. So let's get to Game 3 in New York, and your starting pitchers for Atlanta. It's going to be Tom Underwood. He was acquired from the Oakland A's in the offseason. In 1982, he was 10-6 with a 3.29 ERA and 153 innings, starter 6. And the Mets will send out Craig Swan. Swan with those Mets in 82 was 11-7 with 3.35 ERA and 166 innings. If you're wondering about the New York Met heritage, Gooden is here, of course. But we don't have Ron Darling yet. We don't have Sid Fernandez yet. We don't have the 86 Mets yet. It's getting closer, but there's still a lot of pieces missing. So we're in this area where, you got Gooden, but then you also have a lot of the other stuff that brought the overall talent level of the Mets down a peg. But they're playing out of their mind. And they're getting the bang for their buck out of Joel Youngblood's Year of the Strike batting title to boot. Underwood Swan, Game 3 from Shea Stadium in the game of the week, leading off for Hotlanta. It's Juan Samuel. 3-6, double 1-19 is a double. Jerry Royster, 3-10, flies to left. Enos Cabell, 3-6, flies to left. And with 2 outs, Dale Murphy, 5-12, second X. Jerry Remy's the New York second baseman, and he makes the play. Familiar players on unfamiliar teams. Leading off for the Mets, it is Gene Richards, the hero of Game 2. 45, double 1-8 off the Underwood card is a base hit. Again, Richards has no problem with lefties. He leads off versus lefties and righties and is the DH. So you get everything you can get out of Richards. He doesn't have to play the field. A stealer. Brenly has got a plus arm. Up 2-0 in the series. Might as well attempt a stolen base. Before I attempt a stolen base, folks, I'll just tell you right now, it's happening again. The 16s, the 19s, the 18s, the 20s, the 17s, yeah, they're all popping up. I haven't stolen a base successfully in a while. I think I've been cut down 6 straight times. Let's see if Gene Richards can steal a base with Strat-O-Matic. No. Nope. No, sir. Another 19 right there. See that? Yeah, 19. Yeah, it's just keeps happening, folks. Keeps happening. Don't know why I do it. I just want to resemble baseball, so I steal bases, I bond a hit and run. I do all the stuff that you see in baseball games just to do it and have fun with it, but arguably, if you have base stealers on your team, you're screwed. You might as well just have a bunch of slow guys and win. 1 out, Jerry Remy. 68. He also has no problems with lefties. 68, single one. 68 is a fly ball to center. And Ron Jackson, 45 off Underwood. Triple 1-10 is a base hit. And now you got the dangerous Hubie Babbling Brooks. 5-10 walk. 2 on 2 outs for Joel Youngblood. Let's take a look at the card before he swings, folks. Here you go. Another reason why your Mets are in first place besides Doc Gooden. A lot of people don't remember Joel Youngblood in 81. Hit 350. National League batting champion because of the strike. He was red hot. Yeah, so they're going to max out, this card as best they can. 350 average, 4 homers and 143 at-bats. Great range and extremely good throwing arm. Here's the pitch. 62. He rolls over to first, and the inning's over. Mets don't score. Top of 2. It's Wayne Gross. 110 for Wayne as a base hit. Now you got Bob Brenly. 35's a walk. 2 on for Rafael Ramirez. 2-7 pops to second. Now it's Gene Roof. The roof's on fire. 69 flies to left, and with 2 outs, it's Dave Staplegun. 67, he pops to first base. Bottom of 2. It's Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry. 47, single one of 16, he gets a base hit. He's an ace stealer, just like Richards. Let's try a stolen base. Oh my goodness, he gets the T rating. Holy heck. So we have a stolen base, and the ball sails into center field, and Strawberry stands up at third base. How about that? 2 for 1. 2 bases for 1. Runner at third, Alfredo Griffin. They're going to bring the infield up because he's an A bunter. Alfredo Griffin, 47, single 1 of 10 off the Underwood card. Cannot convert it. Mookie Wilson, 33, pops to short. And batting ninth, the catcher, George Borkman. 3-7 walks. Back up top to Gene Richards. 3-8 is her single dot and the Mets have a lead. 1-0. Runners in the corners, I won't try a steal. Jerry Remy. 5-10 for Remy. Catcher's X can be helpful here. We can get the pass ball wild pitch off of Bob Brenly. Bob's a 4. He's a 4E14 even. We practically should or will, and there it is. Get the PB foul out. So not a good inning for Bob Brenly. He throws the ball into center field, then a pass ball allows a second run to score in the inning. Inning ends 2-0 Mets. We go to the third. Juan Samuel. Phillies had him. They didn't want him. They wanted a better fielder. And the Braves said, well, we don't want him to field either. We'll make him a DH. We got 2 bad fielding DHs with speed on each team. Gene Richards and Juan Samuel. 2-7. Let's take a look at the card. One of the more unique cards is Juan Samuel for many, many reasons. How about at-bats? 701 of them. How about walks? 28 and strikeouts. 168. But how about triples? 19. Doubles 36. 15 home runs. The only thing normal here is his batting average. He gets 272. But he's a double-A stealer. This card sort of defies all the logic. So he's a double-A stealer, but you don't want him to lead off if he can't get to first base enough. And he's horrendous defensively as well. But those extra base hits, that's a nice slugging percentage he has with his speed. He really should be batting 5th or 6th. He has been. But today they put him in the leadoff spot, and he gets 1-1 of 19. That's one of his triples. Runner at third, Jerry Royster. 64 off Swan, third X. Today's third baseman is Hubie Babbling Brooks. He's a 337. And Hubie kicks the grounder, and Samuel scores. It's 2-1. We have a runner at first. A stealing Royster. Borkman, a +1 arm catcher. Let's try stealing a base again. Oh my, it's a stolen base. There you go. The worm is turning. We got a runner at second, and it's Enos Cabell. 3-5, a strikeout. Dale Murphy. 3-8 is a base hit in the center field. Do you run Royster with 1 out? You do, because he's a 17, and Mookie Wilson's got a bad throwing arm, and he scores barely. Look at that. 17 is good enough, because Mookie's got a +1 arm. We have a tie game. Murphy is an ace stealer. Let's keep it going. As long as I'm safe, continue the stolen base trend. And look at this, folks, a 6. So there you go. It's streakiness is all it is. You get thrown out 5 or 6 times in a row, Maybe you'll be safe 5 or 6 times in a row. If that were the case, that's a 50% chance. But I usually only steal a base when it's a 70, 80, 65% chance. So I like to, I like to get that if I can. I just don't. But yeah, Dale Murphy did. He's at second base. With 1 out for Wayne Gross. 38 rolls to first. Murphy goes to third. Lead run with 2 outs. Bob Brenly. 64 off Swan, third X. Here is Hubie again, a 3E37, and not a good inning for Hubie Brooks, his second error. Oh boy. And the Braves take a lead as the Boo Birds come down in Shea. Could have had a scoreless inning, but Hubie Brooks keeps extending it. And you have to hold Bob Brenly at first base. He's a beast stealer with 2 outs. For Rafael Ramirez, 2-5 pops to first. Braves trying to get a win in this series. They lead 3-2 as they go to the bottom of the third. It's Ron Jackson. 37 flies to center. Hubie battling Brooks. 2-8. Let's take a look at this card. 1981 Hubie Brooks. Absolutely destroys left-handed pitching. And yet, he's not the best hitter on this team because of Joel Youngblood. Now you're starting to see how these Mets are where they are. They had some great performances in 81 combined with Doc Gooden in 84. The ends of our timeline. And that's a good scenario for the Mets moving forward. Hubie singles. Beast stealer. He'll stay there at first for Joel Youngblood. 49 off Underwood's a walk. 2 on, 1 out for the Straw. Darryl Strawberry. 39. Let's take a look at Darryl. So, in 83, he hits 26 home runs. However, just a 257 average, 47 walks, 7 triples, 19 doubles. Has a great throwing arm. He's a -3 arm, a 3.6. Again, nice numbers. And a pretty good year. A good enough year to play every day as a lefty who hits lefties well. Had 467 plate appearances. We can play every day in our league. I have no problem with that. 3.9 is a walk. And the Mets have the bases loaded. The infield has to come up for Alfredo Griffin. 45 off the Underwood card. Not a good look for the Braves. It's triple 1-2-10 to clean them. And when we look up, he rolls the 2. And Alfredo Griffin with your dreaded bases loaded triple. The merry-go-round spins. A 3-2 lead is a 3-3, 4-3, 5-3 game suddenly. Griffin at third. You got to bring the infield up for Mookie Wilson. 6-10. Third X. Third baseman is Wayne Gross, a 4-16, and that is a base hit. Oh boy, some horrible defense on display in today. Mookie's a double-A stealer, and it's 6-3. He'll steal a base. We're back to rolling 16s, but he might be safe. Let's see. Mookie. 17. What's the arm? 18, and we just go 2 on the road. Yeah, he's barely safe. Needed a 16 or better, and barely got in there. So he steals the base. He's at second with 1 out for George Bjorkman. 4-11. Left X. Left fielder is Gene Roof, who's a 3E16. But he makes the fly ball 7. That's a break for Atlanta. And with 2 outs, it's Gene Richards. 2-11 is a grounder to the pitcher. Underwood barely holding on here. He's given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. One more base runner will put him at point of weakness. But he skates free, barely. It's 6-3 Mets, and the Braves are in trouble here. Possibly to be swept. That would not be a good look. Into the fourth we go. Of a 6-3 game, here is Gene Roof. 5-10 walks. Dave Stapleton, former Red Sox, 67, pops to first. Back up top to Juan Samuel, 58, left. And with 2 outs, Jerry Royster rolls to third. Bottom of 4. 3 base runners will call it point of weakness for Underwood. Jerry Ginremy, 2-7, there's a base hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's your 12, but you needed that by the 3rd inning to call point of weakness. 2 more base runners in this inning, we will. Ron Jackson, nice little free agent. 67 off Underwood is a K. Hubie, babbling, Brooks. Rolls on that card, and it's going to do some damage. Just double 1 to 16. That's a double. Second and third for Joel Youngblood. 43, first X. Got to get a play here out of Enos Cabell. He is a 3E6 first baseman. He does not deliver a play. It's a single that scores a run, and Tom Underwood needs to go away right now for Atlanta. After 3 1/3 innings, getting knocked around. Moreover, it's a shame we left him in this long because Atlanta has the #1 bullpen in the sport right now, and it's incredible. Not just good. This is one of the best assembled bullpens I've ever put together. So it's almost sad to leave a starting pitcher in once he gives up more than 2 or 3 runs, regardless of what inning it is, and that's unfortunately the case for Atlanta. They obviously left Underwood in there too long because they have Rick Camp closing games with a 1.78 ERA, Kevin Soche's Detroit Tiger card with a 1.65 ERA. We got 81 Gene Garber of the 2.59 ERA in Atlanta, and of course Steve Bedrosian with Atlanta with a 2.37 ERA in 1984. There simply is normally not enough opportunities for these studs. Well, we definitely have it right now. Steve Bedrosian is the choice. Let's take a look at him. His 84 card, again, 9-6, 2.37 ERA in 84 innings. This Atlanta team needs to make some trades in the offseason. They have got to parse out some of this bullpen and improve other areas of the team, such as the fact they have only 2 humans batting left-handed on it. Those are Wayne Gross and Gene Ruth. The other 10 guys all swing right-handed. And I've never had a team that disparate from one side of the dish to the other. That's a problem. Your number 3 and 4 starters are Tom Underwood and Mike Madden. That's also a problem. So this is all something that might happen in the offseason for your hot Atlanta Braves. Runners on the corners, 1 out. Bedrosian comes in, and he only has to deal with Darryl Strawberry. 7-3, they'll bring the infield up. They don't feel a plus, as Strawberry most likely will strike out if he doesn't connect here. Here's the pitch to the Straw Man. 53, right X. Oh boy. In right field, you have Jerry Royster playing out of position. Again, another problem for this team. Well, he's a 2 at least. He's a 2E14 in right field. He's better suited to be an infielder. 2, not E16, E14. And it's a double. Oh boy. Oh Atlanta, it's trouble. It's another RBI double, and it's 8-3 with second and third. Alfredo Griffin with the infield up. 6-12, first C, runners hold. And Mookie Wilson. 48 is a walk to load the bases for George Borkman. 3-7 is a K, and the inning is mercifully over, and these Mets, folks, we got a potent little baseball club here. They're pretty cool, these Mets. As long as Doc Gooden just continues to be lights out, that's enough to get you to a World Series on his own shoulders, pitching on 3 days rest whenever he can. 8-3 into the 5th. It's Enos Cabell. 67 pops out. Dale Murphy, 211, rolls to short. Wayne Gross, 112, flies to right, hurts himself. We need a third baseman. Let's find another right-handed batter to get in here. Let's get our 8th right-handed batter in this lineup here. We'll put Joe Rudy. You remember Joe. He's still around. We'll put him in the outfield, move Royster to third base with Gross injured. Bottom of the 5th, let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
This is the wild and wacky fall league in which the Mets look like a dynasty, folks. Unreal. 8-3 Mets lead. And as we go to the bottom of the 5th, Bedrosian will continue. Top of the lineup for the Mets, it's Gene Richards, his 4th at bat already. 3-6, single 1 to 3. Oh, he rolled a 4 for the first out. Jerry Remy, 3-12, is hit by the pitch. There's a glare, but no, it's okay. We're not going to get into a brawl in this sort of series. Ron Jackson, runner at first. 3-6, you walked him. 2 on, 1 out, and it's Babbling Brooks. 112, you hit him. Okay, now there might be a problem. Bedrosian, Bedrock, has just plunked 2 of the last 3 Met hitters, and there is, okay, all right, there is actually, the bench is empty, folks. We got a Donnybrook going on here. There's no Pascual Perez throwing karate kicks to worry about, or in that famous Padre Brave debacle, which you could find on YouTube somewhere, which bench coaches get ejected along with managers, players, and guys in the bullpen, and security agents as well. They settle it down. So there's thrash being thrown on the field. We got a little break here trying to sort this all out. They're starting to clean it up. The public address announcer comes on and stop throwing stuff at Brave players who are pouty losers at this point. And so now we got it all cleaned up and play resumes. I think Bedrock, Bedrosian was ejected. So we're going to get him out of there. He can only go an inning. So we've 4 1/3 innings produced thus far. Let's go to the next guy, Gene Garver. What a bad day for baseball in the game of the week. Black eye. A team about to rip off a easy 3-game sweep. But before that, Gene Garber will come in. A very nice 1981. 4-6 for the Braves and a 2.59 ERA. Any of these guys, Bedrosian should be the closer. Garber should be the closer. Of course, Soche and of course Camp. They got 4 closers in their pen. Garber comes on in the 5th with the bases loaded, 1 out to face Joel Youngblood. They're going to play back for a double play, trying to clean this up if they can. Here's the pitch to Joel Youngblood. 3-11 is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, trying to save the game, Gene Garber versus Darryl Strawberry. 65, no, Gene does not. It is double 1 of 13, and it is single ... and that's not what you wanted. To keep it close, he cannot do it. It's now 10-3, runners on the corners, 2 outs. Alfredo Griffin, 65 again. This is ugly. Double 1 of 10. Another single ... Boy, these New York Mets, folks. They are something. 11-3. Mookie Wilson, 67, is a K. And this is mercy, folks. Let's see if we can get through this quickly here. This is just a bad day for baseball again. Bob Brenly, 47, single 1. He gets it. Atlanta actually gets a break in this nightmare. Single 1 line out. Could this be the rally of the ages? Down 8 in the 6th. Could that be the fuse? Bob Brenly, write it down somewhere if it is. Rafael Ramirez, 210. Let's take a look at the Rafael Ramirez card. Sorry to laugh, but you'll see why in a moment. Rafael Ramirez, 660 plate appearances, a 297 average. He's a 2 at shortstop now. He can steal, bunt, hit, and run the bases. Full-time power against lefties, pardon me. What a great year for Rafael in 83. 210, homer 1 of 13, but when we look up, Atlanta can't catch that break. That's a fly out. That's okay. That's an out. 1 out. Now you got Gene Roof. 2 9s a K, and with 2 outs, it's Dave Stapleton. 67 is a pop to first. Bottom of the 6th, Garber will continue. It's George Borkman. 43, left X. Your left fielder. Gene Roof. Roof's on fire. He gobbed one up earlier. He gobs another one up. This Atlanta team could not catch a cold, folks, with Juan Samuel at DH. Imagine if he was playing second base. Royster's playing out of position. Cabell's a 3. Okay, you got Gold Glove Dale Murphy in center field. He's the highlight. Okay, Wayne Gross can't play third. Brenly's a lousy catcher. Ramirez a 2 at short. We like that. Gene Roof's pretty awful in left field. And Dave Stapleton is playing out, well, he's Dave Stapleton. He's more a jack of all trades, master of none kind of player. Mets taking advantage of all this. We got a runner at first for Gene Richards. 1/7's a K. Jerry Remy, 46, pops to short, and with 2 outs. Ron Jackson, 37, is a K. Swan is a starter 6, so after 6 complete innings here, and the Mets up 11-3, he will exit to give his bullpen some work. They're going to turn to Pete Falcone in the 7th inning. Pete Falcone actually pitched, for the Mets in 81 with a 2.56 ERA. Had stints with the Giants and the Cardinals and the Mets and the Astros. Usually had maybe one good year with all those teams, and then it kind of fell apart a little bit. This is probably Pete's best year at Shea Stadium. 81, really good year out of the pen. So he will face the top of the lineup, Juan Samuel. 48 is a walk. He's not going to steal down 8. Jerry Royster. 1-9, flies to left. Cabell, 38, pops to third, and with 2 outs, Dale Murphy. 48, a walk, 2 on, 2 outs, and it's Joe Rudy for the injured Wayne Gross. 1-7 is a strikeout. My goodness. 11-3 game in Shea Stadium. Stretch time here at Shea. We are listening to a nice little selection here. This is called Liquid Liquid, part of the no-wave music scene of early 80s New York. Their big hit was this tune, Cavern, which was one of the early sampled song used by Grandmaster Flash in his song White Lines. You might remember that. But yeah, that's where it started, this bass line. Grandmaster Flash took it and turned it into White Lines. Big club hit in the early 80s. Back to the game. Bottom of the 7th, 11-3 Mets. And they are getting it going, folks. This is before the George Foster Mets shuffle that they recorded in 86 to mimic the Chicago Bears 1985 Super Bowl shuffle. It was horrendous. They had guys like Kevin McReynolds and George Foster and some other guys attempting to do what the Chicago Bears did in 85 with their little hip-hop rap thing. And if you don't want to find it, but if you do, you leave it in the comments section, folks. Anyway, bottom of the 7th. Garber, let's get him out of there. Let's just go through all these. Let's just go through this brilliant, brave bullpen so you can see all these guys in what it looks like a sweep. So it'll be Kevin Soche next. 81 for the Tigers, $1.65 ERA. Ultimately, he'd have to leave Detroit because they're going to have Willie Hernandez with that Cy Young MVP card in the World Series year of 84 in Detroit. So they could part with Soche, and the Braves have him. Bottom of the 7th, it's Hubie Babbling Brooks. 2-5, he is denting that column today. Triple 1 to 10, he's at third. Joe Youngblood, 3-7's a walk. Let's steer clear of hit by pitches the rest of the game, guys. Darryl Strawberry, 67's a K. Alfredo Griffin, 45, single 1 to 7. He gets the single. It's the New York Mets world that we're just living in, folks. Another Atlanta reliever getting knocked around. First and second, 1 out in a 12-3 game. Mookie Wilson, 58, flies to right. And with 2 outs, it's George Borkman. What? Is this happening? What planet is it New York Mets world, early 80s? Where does that planet reside? Because let's take a look at George Borkman, or Bjorkman, or Jorkman, really. Bjorn? I don't know. You pick a way to pronounce it. I'll go Borkman. It sounds cool. It sounds like Mork, like Mork and Mindy. So I'll go Borkman. He played for Houston in 1983 and hit .227. He had a couple home runs, and this is one of them. 1-5. That is a 2-out, 3-run home run by George. We have a 15-3 game, and Gene Richards is up. 33, rolls to first. All right, Falcone pitched his inning. Let's go to Tom Hausman. Tom for the Mets in 81. 2.18 ERA in 23 innings. Folks, the 81 Mets in a small sample have some nice players. 81, it's really weird. In that division, you had the Expos, you had the Phillies actually playing in the division, the split season format, but you had the Cardinals and the Mets all within striking distance of each other. Cardinals had the second best record in the National League, didn't go to the playoffs in 81, nor did the Cincinnati Reds, who had the best record in baseball, didn't go to the playoffs. In the abomination known as the 1981 postseason that we are going to change all around in our format later this year and beyond. So let's go to Tom Hausman in the 8th inning. And it's Bob Brenly. 48, single 1 of 3. He gets it. Well, a miracle in the 6th, another miracle in the 8th, but nothing's happened. They've gotten further behind. Rafael Ramirez. 3-8, 6-4-3 double play. There you go. And Gene Roof, 3-11 is a strikeout. May as well go to the last Atlanta reliever, and that is Rick Camp in the 8th. The closer, just because somebody has to. I mean, Camp was a starter. He was decent at that. He was probably better as a reliever. Frankly, in 80 and 81, he had sub-2 ERAs both times. Then they put him in the rotation, and he was never quite as good. Should have left him alone, maybe. 9 and 3 with a .178 ERA in 76 innings in the year of the strike. Again, 1981. Gonna have some weird-looking stats. He will face Jerry Remy, who has been on twice today. 2-7 3 times. Base hit for Jerry. Ron Jackson, 69 center. Hubie Brooks, 1-3. That's a base hit because you're holding Remy on the corners for Youngblood. 64. Catcher's X, you're going to get another run off Atlanta reliever. Brenly's a 4-14. You're going to get an error on Bob Brenly. An unearned run here. Yeah, that's sad. That's just sad. That's all I can say. First and second, 1 out. It's Strawberry. 2-6 is a strikeout. And with 2 outs, please don't hit anybody. Alfredo Griffin, 54, pops to second. We'll go to the 9th. It's 16-3, and we'll go to... Let's go to Jesse Orosco, a longtime New York Met setup guy. He actually does get some saves in this bullpen, splitting time with Jeff Reardon at the closer role. 83 Orosco, 13 and 7, $1.47 ERA in 110 innings. This is 86 Mets-ish. What we're getting out of this team, folks. In the 9th, it's Dave Stapleton. 45, double 1 of 3 is a base hit. Back up top to Samuel. 68, lines are short. Royster, 63. Pitcher X. Orosco, he's an E0. Don't even roll. Home E0s, you've been following the channel. That's just a double play, and this thing's over with, folks. New York Mets just give you, boy, Mets fans, my goodness. This is like the wet dream beyond wet dreams for the New York Mets franchise. This is like the 62 Mets flipped the other way. Instead of winning 42 games, this is a Met team that might just lose as little as 42 games. Go 120 and 42. My goodness. 16-3 destruction of your once hot Atlanta Braves. The cold Atlanta Braves. We will now call them. We'll do the box. We'll go to the stats again. Orosco gave up a hit in the 9th. Hausman a hit and a strikeout. Pete Falcone, a couple walks and a strikeout. Craig Swan, an easy victory for him, giving up 5 hits and 3 runs. There's an error in there. There's 2 errors in there. I don't think anything's earned. Nope. We have a couple walks and a couple strikeouts. All right, Camp. 2 hits, an unearned run, and a K. Soche, oh boy. 3 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and a K. My goodness. Garber, inning and 2/3. He came in for Youngblood here. He gave up 2 hits and 2 Ks. 3 hits and 4 Ks, but no runs are charged to him. He inherited runners to Bedrosian. All those walks score. 3 runs, 3 walks in that inning. And then in the previous inning, he faced Strawberry, gave up a double. A hit, a walk, and a K. A hit, another walk, and a K. Everything else charged to Underwood. My goodness. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 hits. 8 runs. Are there any errors there? Oh, yeah, the second inning there are. 6 are earned. 4 walks. Strikeout. What a mess. Mets, 1009, 0108, 1619, 37. 1619, 37. You know, we had a broadcast in the Summer League of the New York Mets rolling the Phillies by a score of 21-13. You might want to check that out in the Summer League, a September broadcast. They destroyed them. And this timeline, 8 years into the future, they're doing the same thing, folks. 1009, 0108, 1619, 37. 4498. 3-game sweep. Wow. We'll get into some stats. I mean, they don't really need Sid Fernandez or Ron Darling, at least right now. They don't need Keith Hernandez or Gary Carter right now. Or they have Ray Knight. He's on the team. They actually brought back Rusty Staub. He's on the bench. That's kind of nice, getting Rusty back to New York. Your New York Mets are 13-7. They're hitting .270. They got a .326 ERA. Craig Swan is 4-0. He and Dwight Gooden are 9-1. Leading hitter on the Mets, it's all sprinkled around. They're all doing pretty well. There's no individual out popping the rest. I guess Joel Youngblood's 24 for 80. That's not that great. He's hitting 300. Not spectacular, of course. He's under his proposed average. In 20 games, you have Strawberry with 16 RBIs and 4 home runs. Here's a little outlier right here for you, folks. 20 games, Alfredo Griffin. You know Alfredo. He's got 17 RBIs. Folks, Alfredo Griffin has hit 2 home runs this year. That's right. In 20 games, Alfredo Griffin has hit 2 home runs, signed by the New York Mets. Alfredo Griffin had 4 in 1983 with the Blue Jays. So think about that. And he did that in 580 plate appearances. So that's a wild ride for the New York Mets. Now your hot Atlanta Braves, well, they fell to 500. They're 10-10. Braves are hitting .251. They have a .413 ERA. Underwood's 0-3, and he's been awful, giving up 20 runs in 23 innings. You know, the Braves may want to think of putting Bedrosian as a starter. He's a relief 3, starter 5. So they might want to do that. I just don't like to have starter 5s. I prefer the starter 5s to be long men and bring them in more frequently than a guy who only pitches maybe on a 4th day unless he gets skipped. So I don't want to put Bedrosian as a 4 starter and lose him that way. So I like to have Bedrosian and Garber, Soche, and Camp all available. They've pitched a lot of innings because they've struggled, obviously. Now the bats, well, Mr. Murphy is carrying the team. He's got 8 home runs in 20 games, but just 16 RBI. He's 23 for 74. Having a nice little run. And in the National League East, we can sort this division presently. Matter of fact, National League has completed this round of the schedule. Nice to know. And we can take a look at how the National League presently looks in the Fall League. Again, we've played a lot of games earlier in the year. And there we have 650 ball by your Mets. But the Giants, this is another crazy part of the wild and wacky Fall League. As crazy as this Giants 1-loss record is, 15-3, we've seen eye-popping records like this. This is the craziest thing we've seen. The Padres are 2-15 in the Fall League. You know who's on the Padres? They got Tony Gwynn. They got they signed Carney Lansford, a nice player as a free agent. They have Kevin McReynolds, where he started his career. They have Tim Lawler in his best year. They have Dave Jarecki. They went out and they swapped Raleigh Fingers for Bruce Sutter. So they still have a Hall of Fame closer, though it's not the obvious one. They don't have Ozzie Smith anymore. They got Gary Templeton's bat, in theory. And these Padres are just gumming up everything. They're horrible. So the Giants are sitting at a 1. I guess the Mets are probably sitting at 2 right now. You know, a lot of baseball still to be played, of course. Arizona barely a 3, Pirates 4. And you know what I really have to do, folks, is I kind of have to. Hey, I hate having to do this, but I just have to get rid of the wild cards. They'd be easy to add back in if I change my mind, but we don't have wild cards anymore. You got to win your division. So the Mets are looking good here, and this will be a nice little Donnybrook down the stretch. Reds Pirates always is. Here we got a nice little race between a couple clubs here in the National League, and the Giants are on another level for whatever reason. Can't really trace the Giants' success back to the early 80s, right? They weren't part of the playoff puzzle back then, but they got great cards, do the Giants. They have Jack Clark's monster card. They got a great bullpen with Holland and Minton. They got Darrell Evans has a great card playing first base for the Giants. They got some nice free agents. They got Rick Burleson. They have Joe Morgan going to San Francisco with a fantastic 1982 after a couple lousy years prior to that. So that's how the Giants have gotten to where they've gotten. And in the wild and wacky Fall League, this has been the Fall League. Game of the week again, breakup. The New York Mets rolling Atlanta 3 straight. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.